For today's episode, we're going to go over something that's often overlooked, and it's how to properly prepare your hair through your shampoo and conditioner. We often want to rush through it, but this is what really sets the stage for great care and styling. So I'm going to use my wonderful model, Michelle, to go over how we make sure we set the stage for a great hairstyle. We start off making sure that you properly detangle and comb through the hair. Not only are you loosening up any buildup or whatever might be in the hair, but you're also making sure that you're detangling the hair so that when the water hits it, you minimize the possibility of tangling and ripping through the hair because your hair is in a weaker state when it's wet. As you can see, I have the water at an optimal temperature, and I'm making sure that as I'm getting the hair thoroughly wet, I'm running my fingers through it so that it does not get tangled in the process. Wet hair is often weaker, and so you want to be gentle. I'm using the balls of my fingertips to be able to loosen up any product that she may have, if there's any gel or anything else in the hair. It's important to remember to get the hair fully saturated before applying your shampoo or your cleanser. So Michelle's hair is adequately saturated, is dripping wet, making sure I went through it. And as you can see, no tangles. Your first shampoo will often be what you use the most product on. As you continue to shampoo, you need to use less and less product. It's important to use the balls of your fingers and not your fingertips. The balls of your fingers, the cushion of your fingers, to be able to do circular motion, to not only break up any product buildup, but you also give yourself a massage. Massaging the scalp is great for circulation. Healthy hair starts from the inside out, and you're promoting blood flow to the scalp area. How many of you have been to a salon where they're knocking your head up and down the basin? That sucks, right? I know. Not only is this the most important part of your service, this should also be the most relaxing, even when you're doing it yourself. Has Calgon taken you away, Michelle? So your first shampoo, you have the most product. You see you have a lot of lather. Even if you're using a shampoo that does not lather, you want to make sure you use an ample amount to be able to break up any buildup, any products, your dried sweat that's on your scalp. And as you can see, I'm still shampooing in a way. I'm using the circular pattern, giving her that scalp massage, but still being able to run my hands through the hair and not getting it to be a tangled mess. I often get asked what type of shampoos or how many shampoos do I do. My general rule of thumb is that you want to have between 2 and 3 shampoos. Your first shampoo is really to break up product buildup, get most of the hair open to receive the product adequately throughout the hair. So the first shampoo, as I said, you're using a lot more product than you would. Your second shampoo is what I call the specialty shampoo. So say for instance you have itchy, flaky scalp. This is where you would use your itchy, flaky scalp shampoo. If you have any prescriptions for any conditions such as seborrheic dermatitis. This is where you'd use your prescribed shampoo, and this would be where you would do any treatment shampoo. Because Michelle does have color, my second shampoo will be a color shampoo. A color safe shampoo that actually helps to revive the color, and it has extra emollients in it to help with the moisture content in the hair. So because we've removed most of the buildup, the second shampoo, I'm not using as much product, and you will find that the hair lathers up much quicker because we've already gotten through most of the buildup or whatever she had in her hair prior to shampooing. The first shampoo I often use is a clarifying or cleansing shampoo. Once again, using the balls of my fingers to be able to manipulate and massage the scalp while gently cleansing the hair. And as you can see, I don't have to shampoo as long either, because number one, I'm using great products that do the work for me, and two, we already started the process of cleansing. And your final shampoo should always be something that has a high moisture content, because I ascribe to the methodology of cumulatively building moisture throughout, as opposed to using any old product and at the end want to douse the hair with different creams and oils and butters to get moisture or hydration. So my last shampoo to seal the cleansing deal will be a moisturizing shampoo to be able to start that process of hydration and moisturizing the hair and scalp. So lastly, you want to make sure you use a great conditioner. Moisturizing conditioners are always your best bet, your go-to for normal maintenance. And you should feel that the conditioner, as you apply it, you're massaging it in, and you begin to feel that slip on the hair. It's going to help with detangling, but it's also adding to the nourishments that you're replenishing the hair that was removed from, I don't like how that's going, sorry. You want to make sure that you use a moisturizing conditioner to, as I said, continue the hydrating and moisturizing process of the hair. The feel should give you great slip to be able to get it through the hair and aid you in properly detangling. To properly detangle, you always want to start from the ends and work your way up to the root. If you have a lot of hair, I do highly recommend that you part the hair and take sections to be able to properly detangle and not rip the hair out. For regular maintenance, I do recommend putting it through, massaging it in, and letting it sit at least 3 minutes before rinsing out. Once you do that, once again, your best tools are your fingers. You work your conditioner through, and then you rinse. I do recommend using tepid water or slightly cooler water, because that will help to seal the cuticle. And the cuticle is the outermost layer of the hair. If you want to be fancy while you're in the shower or at the bowl, you could use one hand to rinse and the other hand with your comb to detangle and comb through while you have the water going. And there you have your fail-proof way of having a great shampoo and conditioning that you can provide for yourself, and you know what to look out for when you go to be serviced at an establishment. You gently squeeze out all the water, and then you use your towel to gently press to remove the excess moisture. You do not want to take your towel and rough roughly shake your hair because the hair, once again, is fragile when it's wet and you don't want to pop the hair strands. Always use a great leave-in conditioner sparingly throughout the hair. And depending on your styling, you'll use a styler that will help smooth the hair out, or whatever style you're going to proceed to do. Michelle has a nice short cut, and so I'm going to do what's called molding. I'm going to mold her hair, and then she's going to dry, and then afterward we will continue with styling it using hot tools. Remembering that the hair, when it's wet, it's more fragile, so I'm going to continue to part and detangle from ends to roots. Don't be afraid to direct the hair how you want to direct it, especially because you've detangled it well, so you don't have to worry about popping or breaking the hair. The straighter you want the hair to be, the finer the teeth of your comb you use. All right, so once you prep the hair how you want to style it and comb it, you give the hair adequate time to dry. I put these wrap strips because she has a short crop to allow the hair to lay down as it dries. The type of dryer I use, I have to put a net on because it otherwise it will pull the hair. It will pull the hair up. So you don't have to use a net at home if you're using a traditional hard hat dryer. Okay, that's it. For this part, yep. Put it in the dryer. After the hair has been thoroughly dried and she has been set, or you set yourself, now time for the styling. You want to make sure that you are protecting the hair because we are using heat tools and you don't want to burn the hair. Because our hair is so resilient, sometimes you can be causing damage and you don't readily feel it or even know. If it's really bad, then that hair is scorched, you feel it or you see it dropping off the head. But oftentimes what happens is it's gradually that we're damaging our hair through the repeated use of certain things, particularly our hot tools. We're either having them too hot or they're not great quality. So the coating that's on it ends up wearing off and you're starting to use like hard metals on the hair. And so that can lead, repeated use of that will lead to eventual damage. So you always want to make sure that you do make an investment in great quality tools. Few of my favorite hot tools are GHD, which is short for Good Hair Day, and H2 Pro, and an oldie but goodie, well, two oldies but goodie are Hai, H-A-I, and Chi, C-H-I. But for today, I will be using GHD, and I will be using H2 Pro. Make sure that, as I said before, we take a cumulative approach to maintaining the integrity of the hair. So with the proper shampoo, conditioner, leave-in, and foam I use to set her, we're going to build on that, and I'm going to use a silicone base. This is your good silicone because it's water soluble, to be a protectant and do a barrier on her hair from the heat, and also it will help to impart more of a natural sheen and luster to her hair. Be intentional about using styling products that will protect the hair and impart natural luster and shine. So I'm just going to go through and comb through what we just did to loosen up the hair. Another trick is I'll start off with her particular hairstyle. I will start off giving her very tight curls, and she'll let it naturally, the curls naturally fall out in between services up to her next visit. What's good about that is that it minimizes her having to use any heat at home, and she'll be able to have the style gradually fall more and more naturally. So I'm going to give her tight curls, and she can really work with those. She's now in the process of growing this cut out, and so a benefit of also doing the tight curls is that she'll have better blending with the hair that's really short and the hair that's longer, and as it's growing in. You can see she was short on the sides, and we're growing it in. So I work that product through and just combing it and checking and making sure that the hair is all dry. Just know whatever products, whatever tools that you are using, you want to invest in tools that do have an actual temperature gauge, that you can ensure what you're using is not going too high or too hot. For our hair, anything that you're using that's above 365 degrees and you use it on your natural hair, it's going to cause irreversible heat damage. So if you heard that beep, that's my iron letting me know that it's ready. One of the things that I love about GHD is that the technology behind all of the tools work in tandem with your hair. So this is considered the first smart styler. It's the GHD Platinum Plus styler because it has sensors in it that adjust the heat according to the hair that's within the blades. Really powerhouse, really great. So check out ghdhair.com for more info on that. I'm also using the GHD Air Elite Dryer. It's ceramic and tourmaline, and it works to be able to get the hair to dry faster using less heat, the optimal heat setting, so we don't have heat damage, and it helps to seal the cuticle. The other two smaller irons I'm using are the H2 Pro, the micro for the really short areas, and the mini for the mid-length areas. So I'm going to go and style her. I like to do a layering effect. This is more of a liquid silicone base. Once again, it's going to continue that process without weighing the hair down of being that heat protectant and imparting shine. I'm using a light mist spritz just so she can have some memory with her hair, and hold. And I'm not going to add any more product after that. We're doing that. Her hair is protected. She won't have any heat damage. As you can see, she has high lift color and her hair is very healthy. You want to say anything, Miss Michelle?
No, ma'am. Making you beautiful. Continue your magic.
I'm using a light dry just to smooth out some of the root area of the hair with her new growth. When you're curling the hair, just a quick tip and trick to avoid what's called a line of demarcation from the tool you're using, you want to put it in on an angle. So you put it in on an angle and you won't get that line. Boom.
Boom.
Once again, instead of going straight across like that, we're going in on an angle. Turn towards me.
Found my highlights. Fading.
Well, a lot of it's growing out, but I still like how it's grown out gradually. I have sea moss in the fridge. They made it. It reminds me of like aloe, and I'm supposed to put it in stuff, but it's still in my fridge.
That's not funny. I'm going
And
to
it was
pick up
not
some.
inexpensive either. It was
Right. It's not. So put it in
it's a
your
big
smoothie.
jar.
Put it on something. My kids got tired of the smoothies, so I just give them a spoonful. So you're gonna eat it no matter what.
Ugh.
Whatever. A spoonful every day. We used to do cod liver oil when we were kids, and
I
we
had no
didn't know
choice.
that was right. Exactly.
And I gagged the whole time.
You're right. The no choice part, I'm back to that in life. They have no choice. You take it or you don't eat. That's where I'm at.
She has 3 men boys.
Yeah, we're very concentrated on food right now. So Max is doing his thing. So Gerdie, we're gonna grow this out into this bob. I still want to do this side bob, right? And I still haven't gotten any pieces yet. I kept saying I was gonna do it. So now since we put it on this side, I guess I really need to get a pack of hair, because once this side that's long starts looking funny and lifting, it looks terrible. So I have to be able to switch sides and cover it.
Okay. Well, you can just do, you're talking about cover it with the hair, yeah.
Yeah, just to change it. God forbid I say I'm bored again, because I'm really not. I can't curl it too much, because of the color, it just stays there. And I felt like that part right there was getting a little over exerted with the heat. So, I'm still not bored with this cut. Rename my M. What did you have in mind next for me, Gerdie?
Girl, I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow, much less what I had next for you.
See, why can't I get an idea of a next style ever?
We said you were growing it out into the bob. What are you talking about?
It's gonna be a minute.
Didn't she just say her whole plan? She's getting the hair, she's getting a piece of
But it's gonna be a minute. You might have a different vision than me.
Another quick tip is, if you want to minimize not putting too much product or having too much on your actual hair, is just put some in your hand. Rub it together, what's called emulsification, and then you can use that to do your styling. I am a firm proponent of using your fingers as your ultimate styling tool. This is where I use the mirror to see what I'm doing.
You know my forehead is big.
Oh my gosh.
Bring that hair all the way up to the front.
I can't.
She loves to see her curls popping in the back, but I need to cover this forehead a little bit.
I want her to get out of this self-conscious forehead because it's not.
I'm good. I just like it. I like it. Cut it to the front. You got your sexy braids going on here.
I feel like they're so dusty and ready to go.
No, they are not. Never. Yes.
And I'm into.
She plucked me.
Organized mess. I'm not into like really, really defined, strict curls. Like those remind me of 20 years ago when you have those stacked structured curls. I really like to get it in and then use my hands to kind of like nicely mess it up so it's like an organized mess.
Which is why
like she woke up like this.
Yes. And I'm into soft, movable hair.
Yeah.
Which is why you're still my stylist, Gerdie.
No whisper, Michelle.
And something else really quick, she started out really, really light, and just through time as her hair is growing in, you see that it's gradually gotten darker and it's a little bit deeper at the root. But when I color, I intentionally do that so that you have this nice outgrown effect where you still see the dimensions of her color. She's on par for fall, but she also has the hair growing in, her natural hair growing in. So choosing a color that will go well with her natural hair, her deeper, darker hair that's growing in. Alrighty, all you gotta do is touch up your
outside
makeup so we can go to the next piece and give a little bit of.
Okay.
This is just a hair wax stick just to lay down some of the flyaways.
You're gonna give me find my M, please.
Okay. Now she want to be picky and putting requests in.
It's already there.
She makes me do an M in the back for Michelle.
You did the M first, and now it just made sense to stay that way.
Like I said, she made me do an M in the back for Michelle. And lastly, I sealed the deal with a humidity resistant spray and a setting spray. This is what's called a brushable hold spray, Sebastian. And Sebastian Shaper Fierce, this gives hold, but she can still run her fingers through it, style her hair, and do if she needs it. As I started out saying, we did really tight curls so that she can have the curls gradually fall out on their own, and by the end of a week and a half or so, she will have a nice smooth bump.
Mm-hmm.
And her hair will look beautiful all week.
Sure will.
And yours will too when you practice this and you try it out for yourself. Be sure to send me an email. Let me see how it went. I hope this really helped you with understanding that you're building upon maintaining the integrity of your hair with what you use, starting from the shampoo. Your shampoo or your cleanser, your conditioner, your leave-in. I encourage using a dryer, a hard hat dryer that you could sit under to allow the hair to dry, and very minimal use of a blow dryer if possible. Once the hair dries, you want to make sure that you're applying a heat protectant that's going to not only protect the hair, but it's going to help with sealing the cuticle and imparting shine. You use that throughout. Make sure that whatever your hot tool is that you're using, you don't go above 365 degrees Fahrenheit. And I recommend for longevity and minimal use of heat to start off with a tighter curl and allow the curl to gradually and naturally fall out on its own. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe YouTube, Tress Talk with Gerdie. On Tuesday nights at 8 p.m., you can find me here on the Inspired Living Network. Thanks so much for joining me. See you next week. Bring a friend.